Hey everybody, welcome to the now John DeRugeris show. It used to be the Simply Social show, where I just specifically talked about social media. I'm going to expand the podcast, going to expand it out to multiple different topics, such as just overall business, motivation, entrepreneurship, money, what's going on in my life, all these different things, and obviously social media, because that is a business that I run. So, in today's episode, what we're going to talk about, I have it right here written down. We are going to talk about why brand is essential for businesses and why brand is as essential as customers for a business in 2021. So, brand has become so important in the lives of businesses and consumers because people want to care about, and people do care about, who they buy from and what they buy from and what that company means and how that company makes them feel. The days of just showing a advertising message and throwing right hooks every chance you get to your audience are over. That is completely done. That is marketing of yesterday. We're talking about the marketing of right now and the future. So that is where brand comes into play. So I have 5 ways to build your brand within your company, whether that's a personal brand, whether that is a small local business, whether that's a medium-sized business, whatever you may have, an e-commerce business even. 5 ways to build brand around your business and really to build your brand. So the first one that I have is tip number 1, have a social media presence. The reason why this is important is because more people are now going to Instagram versus Google to see whether or not that business is 1, alive, and 2, whether or not they should even trust and like that business. So Instagram has kind of become the place of, it's a really big melting pot of a lot of things. It's still one of the top social media platforms, but it's become so important to have your audience on there and to actually build up an audience on Instagram. So regardless if it's Instagram, you need to have a social media presence established. So I'll kind of get into a couple other ways to build brand that kind of goes into that. But step number 1 is to have that presence on social media. Number 2, use the jab, 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 right hook marketing method. So what is that? That method really includes asking for the sale not at the first time you interact with the customer, not the second time, not the third time, but the 4th time. Now, this is coming off a concept of Gary Vaynerchuk. He actually wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, and this is a method of content strategy that he uses and he suggests for any business and anybody. Basically, the jab, 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 right hook means give value, give value, give value, then ask for the sale or ask for whatever you want in return. Instead of basically the other way where you're asking for whatever you want in the front end and then you never really get to the value part. So it's about providing value up front to where you can, get that person or get that customer or get that potential follower to know, like, and trust you, and then ask for the sale. This can come in a lot of different forms. This can come in the form of social media content that is geared around the customer, around what the customer wants to see, and it's built for the customer. It can come in an email that is bringing some kind of value to the customer. So it could be a discount code. It could be some educational tip around your business or around an industry or some way to help that person. It can be an advertising message that is simply providing value out there, maybe a blog that you put out, or maybe a piece of, like I said, educational content that could help them in some way, help them as in the customer. So use the jab, 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 right hook marketing method. When I say this, I specifically mean this in your actual marketing. So this could be Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever you are using to advertise your business online. I'm specifically talking about in the second way to build brand around your business. Do this within a marketing realm, so advertising, and approach it in the way that you advertise. So don't, if you're running Facebook ads, for example, let's say you have a Facebook marketing budget of $500 or $1,000 a month. If you're really wanting to build a long-term business that is going to be sustainable, you want to have multiple jabs before you ask for the right hook. Now, if you're just wanting quick cash and if you're wanting everything quick, which I don't suggest because those customers aren't going to be as loyal as customers that you build up over time, you ask for the sale right up front, which I don't suggest. But if you want to build a long-term business that is sustainable, that has loyal customers that will come back, jab, jab, jab throughout your marketing funnel, and then ask for that sale. So provide value with maybe an ebook or a sale or maybe even a tip around something in your industry that person can use, and then ask for the sale. Number 3, in your social media content, provide value. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying before with the jab, 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 right hook method, but I'm talking specifically about social media content. When it comes to your content, I see you have to provide value. That is an absolute must. The reason why is because it is proven that the more somebody knows, likes, and trusts you, they will buy from you more often versus a complete stranger. The way to get somebody to know, like, and trust you is provide them some kind of value. So this goes back to what I was saying with the marketing message, which is jab, 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 right hook marketing method. Do the same thing with your content. So provide value. So let's say you're a tire shop. Let's say you're selling some tires, and you have customers ask you kind of the same questions all the time. What tire should I get? And you have a general response that is, okay, if you have this kind of car, you need this, or if you have this kind of mileage, you may need these, or what kind of the steps in the process of what you would do and walk through that customer and how you would walk through the steps with that customer. You could put that into a piece of social media content, and that's your value. That is your jab. That is when you're giving value to them. Another one could be something, entertainment based. So maybe a tire meme, or maybe it's a tire joke, something that's funny. This goes deeper into the actual content pillars of what you want to base your content off of. A lot of times you want to base it off of something entertaining, educational, community building, engaging, so that actually engages the customer or engages the follower with the post or your page, and something that's connection based. So those are really the 5 you want to focus on, and you can really build a nice social media strategy that converts, maybe not in sales, but in brand. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. Brand is essential now, like I said before, and when it comes to the social media content, providing value is the absolute must to get that know, like, and trust factor. And you can do this in multiple different ways, like I've explained, but you need to provide value in your social media content, and that can be done, like I said, through those content pillars that I just said, and giving more than what you ask. So give out more, like 3 or 4 times, and then ask for something. Like I said, this can look like a lot of different things. This can come in many different forms, but just provide value that the customer would find valuable, not what you would find valuable, because those are 2 completely different things. What you may find valuable to the customer may not be valuable to what they actually want to see. So you could ask, to find out what's valuable, you can ask questions, you can ask polls on social media. What do you struggle with? You can, compile a list of, your most common questions that are asked about your business or your industry. Or, if let's say you're a restaurant, if you're listening to this and you're in a restaurant, how do you provide value? You can provide value in, you can show off your customers, you can show off your employees, you can show your love for your actual business and your restaurant. You can run some engaging posts saying cheese pizza or pepperoni. Let's say it's a pizza restaurant. What do you like, cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza? And the first person whoever comments within the next hour gets a free pizza or something like that. Or maybe the origin story of your business. Or maybe let's actually go through this. I'm going to walk through this right now. Providing value for a pizza restaurant. Maybe the options that you offer. Not asking for a sale, but just, the number of toppings. And it could look at not just saying, oh, we have this, this, and this. Maybe list out all of your toppings that you offer and ask in your caption, what's your favorite topping on your pizza? And that way you can display everything that you have. Maybe you have anchovies, you have bell peppers, you have pepperoni, Italian sausage, bacon, onions, all this different stuff. And in your caption, you can say, hey, what is your favorite pizza topping? We offer all of these. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. You're offering value because you're getting them some knowledge that's education-based. You're engaging with them and asking for a response in return, which is not the same as asking for a sale. You're not saying, hey, come into our restaurant. You're just wanting to know what they like. So provide value, in essence, in your social media content. That's number 3. Number 4, keep your social media profiles up to date and keep them optimized. This is huge for building brand. The reason why is because this goes back to point number 1, where having a social media presence is essential. The second step to that is keeping your profiles optimized and up to date. Because if somebody looks at your business and and you haven't posted in a couple months, they're going to be like, oh, what's going on? And a lot of people base their actions off what they see off of social media. So in response to the market, you need to give them what they would like. And that is a consistent posting schedule. Now, if you want to gain customers and provide value to them and actually grow your online presence, which in return will grow your business in return of customers, you have to be present on social media daily. And that is also in lieu with keeping up with your social media profiles and keeping them optimized. And that is in the realm of making sure your profile pictures are all the same, make sure they're clear and legible and you can read them or view them clearly, making sure your information in your account is all up to date, making sure that your content is hitting home with the right people at the right time, using the right hashtags, making sure your content is on brand, and also making sure that your bios are true to your voice, and also making sure that your link works in your bio. That's a huge one. I see a lot of businesses where their links just simply don't work, or they send it to a dead link and you don't know where to go. So you go back to the page and you're like, okay, this is Sal's Pizzeria. Then you have to go on Google, look up Sal's Pizzeria, but then there's a ton of Sal's Pizzerias and you don't know which one is which because the online profile doesn't match the social media profile, and you can kind of see where I'm going now. So make sure, regardless of what you're online, whether it's a Google My Business profile, Facebook profile, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, no matter what you're on, making sure everything is optimized, there's continuity between all the logos and the names, and making sure that you are present is number 4. And number 5, this kind of ties into what I was just saying about all these different social media channels. Number 5 is having a presence on multiple social media channels. So step number 1 is having a presence in general. Number 2 is providing value. Well, number 2 is providing value in your marketing messages, so your actual advertising, your paid media. Number 3 is providing value in your content. Number 4 is making sure they're up to date. And number 5 is making sure you have multiple social media channels. So this is important for many reasons, and I kind of touched on this in a previous podcast. Actually, I didn't just touch on it; it was the entire podcast what it was about. You want to make sure that you have multiple social media channels. The reason why is because you may have a wide target audience. If you're a pizza restaurant, you may reach people between the ages of 20 and 60. The 20-year-old consumer more than likely will not be on Facebook, but they're probably on Instagram and TikTok. But the 45 to 50-year-old mom and dad who have 3 kids, they probably live on, they may be on Instagram, but they're probably on Facebook, maybe Twitter. So if you have a wide market, which you probably do for your business, you want to have multiple social media channels to hit those different audiences. Because if you just have one, let's say you just have Instagram, you're going to probably skew young. And with that being said, you may be missing an entire portion of the market. So my suggestion to you is, if you have a business, have multiple channels. And one channel and one platform that is extremely fruitful right now is TikTok. The organic reach is like Facebook 2012, like Instagram 2013. The organic reach is incredible, and you can create content out of literally anything. The what goes viral on TikTok is something that is I can't even understand as a marketer because there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, it does have to do with the algorithm and what sounds you use and hashtags and things like that. But it's about being authentic and being true. So, number 5, having presence on social media, different social media channels will increase your brand because different audiences will be on different channels. You can connect with them more, offer content specifically tailored towards that platform, and that'll build brand within each platform. And let's say, your entire audience is on Instagram and it's the only profile you have, and Instagram goes away one day, your entire social media plan is shot because you don't have any other audience anywhere. So if you lose your main one, or your only one rather, you have to restart from zero. So my suggestion is having multiple channels so you're putting out more content so more people can see you, which in return will build your brand, which over time will build long-term relationships with your customers, which will turn into customers. That sounds kind of weird when I said that. Long-term loyal customers, which will turn into raving fans. Let's call that that. So to kind of go through the list again, 5 ways to build your brand within your business is all based around social media. My 5 tips are: have a social media presence. That's number 1. 2, use the jab, right hook marketing method for your advertising efforts. 3, in your social media content, provide value. That's a big one. Provide value. Number 4, keep your profiles optimized and up to date. And number 5, have presences on social media channels, not just one, not just 2. Have multiple. I would suggest 3 to 4, depending on your business, but have multiple social media channels. So this is John DeRugeris. I am signing out for today. This is now the John DeRugeris Show. Stay tuned for more episodes on everything from marketing to business to entrepreneurship to money to stocks to just a bunch of different topics, motivation, mindset, even some books. I'm going to do some book reviews and things that I'm reading. I just put up a really cool TikTok video about accountability within the one thing that I'm reading. That's a book by Gary Keller, so I suggest reading that. Very good book if you're a business owner. Very, very smart man there. Keller Williams is his company. He was the Keller in Keller Williams. So anyways, this is John DeRugeris signing out. I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode.